All right, welcome to section 2 where we're going to talk about Firefox Developer Edition. So in this video, we're going to go over an overview of what we're going to be learning throughout this section. So first, we're going to download and install Firefox Developer Edition. Then we're going to look at the features of Firefox Developer Edition. Then we'll look at the developer tools, and we'll go over a summary of what we learned in this section. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to download and install Firefox Developer Edition. So let me just say one thing before we do this. The reason why I want you to use Firefox Developer Edition is that it's an open source web browser that is built for web developers. So it's a crucial tool in your toolbox to be using Firefox because it will really open up your opportunities in web development, okay? Specifically front-end web development. So let's jump over to our favorite web browser. And for this example, I'm going to use Safari since I'm on a Mac. And we're going to go to google.com. Okay, so let's type in google.com. And then I'm going to search for Firefox Web Developer Edition. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down here to Firefox Browser Developer Edition. Okay. And I'm going to go right here where it says Firefox Developer Edition, this big blue button. We'll click on that and it's going to download. Do you want to allow downloads? Yes, I want to allow. So it's going to download right here. And as it's downloading, let's just talk a little bit about Firefox Developer Edition. So welcome to your new favorite browser. Get the latest features, fast performance, and the development tools you need to build for the open web, okay? So let's click on the downloads here. I'm going to double click that. And that's going to open up the Firefox file that was downloaded, and then we're going to install it. So let's let this run. We'll give it a few more seconds here and wait for it. And we're just about there. There we go. All right, so it's going to, so on a PC, what it's going to do is ask you if you want to install it. Just hit yes, and then go through the process there. On the Mac here, we just need to drag it over to the applications folder, and I'm going to replace it. Okay. So I already have it installed on my computer, but I wanted to show you how to install it because this is an extremely crucial tool in your front-end web development journey that's just beginning, okay? So 5 more seconds and we'll be ready to roll. And let's see if it's there. I'll just double click on this just to see. If I scroll down, we should see Firefox. Where are you? There we are. All right, so we have downloaded and installed Firefox Web Developer Edition. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, first thing I want you to do if you're on a Mac is grab this little icon here and drag this down to the trash bin so we can eject it. And then the next thing I want you to do is hold the command and hit spacebar and type in Firefox, and that should find you Developer Edition right here. The other way to do it on a Mac is you can also go to the Finder and then find the application there. Now, the thing I want you to do is I want you to right-click on this icon, and this is on a Mac and PC. Right-click, and on the PC, pin this to the taskbar. On a Mac, go to Options and keep in the dock, okay? So it's going to verify Firefox Developer Edition. We're going to hit Open, and then it should open up here, and then we're ready to go. And there you go. Beautiful. So the one thing I want you to do, and I'm going to close out Safari here. Let's show. Okay, let's close Safari, and then I'm going to remove Safari from the dock. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go to google.com again. We're going to type in Firefox Developer Edition, and then I want you to go to the website, and we're going to look at some of the features that are included with Firefox Web Developer Edition or Developer Edition, okay? So right here you have, I'm just going to go over kind of their blurb. the browser made for developers. So all the latest developer tools in beta, plus experimental features like multi-line console editor and WebSocket inspector, a separate profile and path so you can easily run it alongside release or beta Firefox. Preferences tailored for web developers, browse and remote debugging are enabled by default, as are the dark theme and developer toolbar button. Okay. Inactive CSS, Firefox DevTools now grays out CSS declarations that don't have an effect on the page when you hover over the info icon. Okay. Firefox DevTools, the new Firefox DevTools are powerful, flexible, and the best of all, hackable. This includes the best-in-class JavaScript debugger, which can target multiple browsers and is built-in React and Redux. Okay. Master CSS Grid, Firefox is the only browser with tools built specifically for building and designing with CSS Grid. These tools allow you to visualize the grid, display the associated area names, preview transformations on the grid, and much more. Fonts panel, the new fonts panel in Firefox DevTools gives developers quick access to all the information they need about the fonts being used in an element. Okay. Build and perfect your sites with Firefox DevTools. So you have the inspector, console, debugger, network, storage panel, responsive design mode, visual editing, performance, memory, and style editor. So these are some of the key features that they offer. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about developer tools. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into Firefox, okay, Developer Edition, and let's right-click here and click on Inspect Element. Okay. Now you're going to notice that there's all these tools, and some of them I talked about in the previous video where we were talking about features. So what I want you to do is go up to the address bar and let's go to google.com. Okay. And now we're going to use these developer tools as an example. I'll show you an example on how we can utilize these tools for a web page. Okay. So this is just an example. And so you have right here the element selection tool. And basically what that does is I can go anywhere on a web page, on any web page on the web, and I can go here and I can select an element. So for this example, I would be grabbing the anchor element here, and I could go in and I could edit the CSS here. I can also edit the code here, okay? And I can see where it is, and then I can work around it and build out the website and see how they've been doing it, okay? So once you select it, then it gives you the inspector. So the DOM and style inspector, okay? So this will allow you to go through any website on the web, and you can inspect their code, okay? Then we have the console, which is designed for JavaScript. Now, when we get to the JavaScript section of the course, we're going to be using this in the web browser to do some tests and to learn the fundamentals of JavaScript. So I'm excited to show you that and work with you on that. Then we have the debugger. So the debugger allows you to debug code inside of your web browser. We're not going to be utilizing this as much. We're going to mostly do our debugging through the text editor and through the inspector. That's really where we're going to be doing our debugging. Networking is more of a back-end situation, which we're not going to be covering in this course. Then you have the style editor. So the cool thing about this is I can click on this little plus sign here and I can type in the following, and you don't have to do this. We'll do body and we'll do curly brackets, and then I'm going to type in background and we'll do pink, and you're going to see something happen. The background will turn pink, okay? And it will also give me the ability to save this file on my computer, and then I can integrate this into our projects and other things if I wanted to. Now, I'm not going to do that for this example, but I just wanted to show you how cool of a tool that is, where you can literally write out CSS in the browser and then save the file, and you can see the changes as you're doing them, which is really cool, okay? Performance. Again, this is more of a back-end thing with the networking part, so we're not going to be covering this that much. Memory, same thing. Storage, same thing. It's more of a back-end thing. And then accessibility, same deal, and then application, okay? Now let's talk about the responsive design mode. So when I click on this little icon here, where it's like a little smartphone and then a tablet, When I click on that, it turns the browser into responsive mode. And basically what I can do is I can adjust this by device size, or I can edit the list, and I can add I can add more devices here. So for example, let's say we wanted a laptop, okay? I can add that in there, and then I can click here and grab the laptop. Now I can see what my website would look like on a laptop with this resolution of 1280 by 950. Okay, so why is resolution extremely important? Well, being someone who is a video guru myself, I absolutely love video, and I'm a video engineer by trade before anything else. Resolution is extremely important because with responsive web development, you have multiple sizes. So you have smartphones or mobile devices, you have tablets, and then you have a laptop and then a desktop. So you have 4 different devices with completely different resolutions. So the question is, how do you work with each one of those? So in the CSS section of the course, we're going to talk about a popular term called media queries. And basically what that does is it has a breaking point for each resolution size, which will cover each one of the resolutions. So it'll cover mobile devices, tablets, laptops, and then desktops. Okay, so it'll cover all those, and really you only need 4 breaking points to get to that point. Okay, so if I right click again here, if it lets me, okay, let's right click and inspect the element again, and I'll show you the other tools that they have. So they have the inspector, which we talked about. So all these tools we just talked about, right? We also talked about the responsive design mode. They also have eyedropper. So eyedropper gives you the ability to go on a web page and drop the eyedropper to retrieve the hex code or the RGB code for that color. Okay, so I've copied this color. Now I have that color and I can use that on my website. Okay, then they have page source, which will show you the code of the web page that you're on. So you can look at their source code and see what they did. Now this is all JavaScript. So it's all gibberish and it's condensed down. So it's really hard to look at, but other websites you could, go in there and take a look at it depending on what it is. Remote debugging, we have browser console. Okay, get more tools. So with this, you can grab more tools on here, which we're not going to do right now. We're just going to utilize the tools that we have through Firefox. But later on in the course, if we need them, this is where we will go to get more tools for different aspects of front-end web development. Okay, so like I said, Firefox Developer Edition is one of the key tools to web development because it's a modern web browser, and a lot of the new technologies out there like CSS3 animation and HTML5 canvas and other things like that will work inside this browser. Okay. The other thing is everything will work through this browser. So this is a good starting point to work off of and then work back to disabling features on other browsers. Okay. So that is the Firefox Developer Edition developer tools. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Congratulations on finishing the section about Firefox Developer Edition. So in this video, I'm going to go over a summary of what we learned throughout this section. So in the very first video, we went over an overview of what we're going to talk about. Then we talked about how to download and install Firefox Developer Edition. Then we talked about key features of Firefox Developer Edition. And then we went in detail and talk about the developer tools that are available to you inside of Firefox Developer Edition. So if you right click and you inspect the element, I'll show you again some of these tools, just reading the words so you see what it is. We talked about the element selector, the inspector, the console, the debugger, the network, style editor, performance, memory, storage, accessibility, application, and then we also talked about the responsive design mode, and we talked about the eyedropper and the page source, and also how to get more tools. So if you're learning a different discipline, how you can get more tools and integrate that into your toolkit. Okay, so that's a summary of this section covering Firefox Developer Edition. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.